Morning. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Welcome, everyone. Mr. Bramble, minutes and claims.
February 14th minutes for approval.
Any corrections, additions?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
Then we've got the February 16th payroll for $1,130,555.28.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
And next I've got the regular claim docket for February 11th through the 17th for $1,512,219.76.
Questions or anything?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Aye.
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 Thank you. All right, this morning we have RJL, is that correct? Presentation on the Indiana Trails Grant Program that we're working on. You have the floor.
Hello, yes, we are working on the Indiana Trails Program grant in which we are working with you, the commissioners, on applying for $400,000 towards the Riley Trail Grant. And so we are asking for public input from the community just to kind of get their general thoughts on the trail, and so we can include that in the application.
You want public comment right now from
Ye-
anyone?
Yes,
Have any questions about it?
yes.
Okay. So, do you want to elaborate a little more about what it is and what we're looking at, what have you?
Yeah.
The trail and the specifics and the amount maybe and that kind of thing?
Yeah, and please correct me if I'm wrong on any of these details. So it'll kind of start in the Idle Creek area, then running adjacent on State Road 46, head towards the town of Riley, where then it will extend further, getting closer to Clay County, where eventually there will be two existing extensions leading closer into the city of Terre Haute and Clay County specifically. The trail will have bridges and connectors, as well as being close to the Riley Town Hall, different playgrounds, and other extensions like that.
Okay, and this is administered by the DNR?
Yes. The exact amount we are asking for is $400,000, as that is the maximum grant amount, with a match of, for the specific extension we are doing, I want to say it's close to $100,000 in matching funds from the county.
Okay, so this would be a matching
Yes,
type of grant.
yes,
That 80-20?
yes.
Okay. All right. So what, with cooperation from our county engineer, we've divided that project into segments.
Yep.
Because we need a little more money than this to complete it as we want to complete it. So this is one of the things that we're going after. After meeting with the DNR, what was that, Wednesday, Thursday last week?
I think it was Friday? Yeah.
Friday,
late
Saturday,
last week.
yeah, Friday last week by Zoom. It was, I think all three of us think it's a perfect match for what their grant application's for, with connectivity, et cetera. We answered a lot of questions, but you're going to put them all on paper.
Yeah.
Provide the documentation of minutes of meetings and all the things that go along with these grant applications.
Yep.
And that will be, when's the due date?
March 1st.
March 1st. Okay. So, entertain any questions.
Any public comment about the Riley Trail or the DNR grant? Mark, Mike, and I had the opportunity to ride it on side-by-sides, not side-by-sides, I shouldn't say that, Kubotas. It is an awesome trail, really unique bridges, extremely old bridges that are still in really good shape, so this will be a part of accomplishing this trail.
Yeah, as we said when we started advocating for this, you know, one of the things was interesting that came out and said, "Is this your master plan?" And it caught me back a little bit because there are master plans for trail construction around the city mostly and involving part of the county. But this just came with the abandonment notice about this time last year from the Surface Transportation Board. So this is why. So we aggressively pursued it at that point and continue to build out on it. Not a surprise to the community or anything like that. It's just this is where how the opportunity is rolled out.
Well, if there's no further questions or comments, Commissioner President Morris, I'd like to just make a motion acknowledging that we had a public input session, and we can move on.
Need a second? I second that.
All right. All by aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Get that in on time. Okay. Next on the agenda, voter registration office, clerk's office.
Good morning.
Mr. Newman.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Brad.
Hey, Chris.
Okay, so just one clarification on one thing, Brad. Are you under the impression that if voter registration is to fall under the clerk's office, that you make the appointment of the position or the county chairman? Because that's what we're trying to get clarification on.
We make the appointment.
Okay.
However, as I said before, we're not removing anyone, obviously.
Yeah. So we're still waiting on Terry Modisett to give us an official opinion, which we have touched base with him this morning. So I'd like to make a motion to table it until next Tuesday. That's still 70 days in advance of your election. You know,
I'd just like to say, I think that this makes sense to fall under the clerk's office. We ask you to run our elections, and I believe you should have oversight of that. But the problem is the shall appoint, I believe, is what we're struggling with. The last thing I want to do is get into any kind of litigation or whatever, and it says the party chairman shall appoint.
I understand that. We also sent language. I told Jackson to send language to Terry Modisett as to the other counties that have done this, and we're not reinventing the wheel here, folks.
Yeah, a gentleman by the name of Strom, is that his name? We touched base yesterday too from Modisett Law Firm about Jackson's email and stuff like that too. So as soon as we get a real opinion from our attorney's office, I think we'll be ready to move forward.
A second.
Okay?
All by aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Table. Thank you.
Thanks, Brad.
Okay. Next item on the agenda, RFP for painting community corrections. Commissioner Clinkenbeard, do you have some?
I do not have that in front of me, but I will read it if you have it.
Let's see which one's this.
It was not in my packet.
I do not see it here. Well, you want to explain what we're doing?
Yes, we're just taking bids to paint the Community Corrections Building, which is at First and Ohio. We just want to see what that would come in at. If you've been by there, the building looks, it's starting to look a little worn. So we're just interested in getting bids on that job, on the exterior painting.
We don't have any bids to approve or disapprove at this point.
No, we do,
Just a
I don't
request.
believe so. We don't have any bids yet. in, do we? No.
Okay. I don't think we have any action to vote on that. Okay, North Mechanical contract was tabled on December 20th after, okay, Karen? Okay. Several discussions, and I believe we're ready to move ahead on that, too. Yeah, we had to have some clarification on this North Mechanical contract for the continuing maintenance of the courthouse.
North Mechanical is the contractor that came in after we had the malware incident that did most of our work with the control system and things like that, HVAC. So it's just a contract for them to continue to work on that stuff. So I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
All by aye.
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 And then number 7 on the agenda is Johnson Controls. Those are 2 different contracts. One is the control system for the Vigo County Courthouse, specifically Johnson Controls, switches and things like that. The other one is for the new Vigo County Jail. So Johnson Controls is one of the big controller operators of the business management system at the jail and at the courthouse. So those are just 2 normal contracts that Ricky has in his budget every year. So I'll make a motion to approve those as well.
Second?
All by aye.
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 Okay. Okay. Next item on the agenda is a bid opening for some demolition work we're looking at the old International Paper property. And we're not awarding anything. We're opening them for review.
Got several of them.
Jimmy, you're on the clock. You got 30 seconds per bid.
I want to take my time and do it right.
I figured.
See, you got one from Fry Drainage and Excavating. It's like the bottom line's 420,000. And from McGuire Excavating and Trucking, looks like it's 82,500,
How much? 82?
82.5. Got one from S&G Excavating, and it's got 2 prices. Option 1, 170,000, and option 2, 117,500.
117.5?
Yeah.
One second.
Wreck building complete, leaving all concrete slabs and elevated docking walls. Landfill fees by Vigo County. And with then option 1 was wreck building complete removal of concrete, loading dock floor, loading dock walls, and all foundations removed down to 2 feet below surrounding elevations, 170,000. Landfill fees and costs by the county. This one's from Dennis Trucking. $145,900. Column excavating, 166,000. Then Bell and Bell, 80,000. Rigney Construction, 356,000.
Okay. And these,
Lot. We used to get, I think that's most bids I've ever seen on anything. That's
well,
right.
maybe that's because we publicized it, and trying to be open about it, what have you. This is for a building that is located on International Paper property that the county's owned for quite some period of time. So, looking, trying to get that removed. So, obviously, there's a lot of discussion yet to be had.
So for those that don't know, this is the building, it's in the back southwest portion of the property, not the one sitting up front on 63. There was some confusion there. But now that we have these bids, I would like to work with RJL, Ms. Payonk, and McKinsey to see if there could be some grant opportunities to assist us with the demolition of this building. I assume most of those quotes are probably good for at least 60 days, I would hope. So hopefully we can work through that. Of course, we want to tear this down because it's definitely an eyesore. It's definitely unsafe. There's a lot of activities that shouldn't be happening in that building happening. And the Drake family is having some issues with people breaking into their buildings and things like that. So, Karen, I don't know if it's appropriate. I'd like to make a motion to say that we receive these bids and that we will take them under advisement. And then after we get some clarification or maybe some grant opportunities or something, we'll move forward later, at a later date.
Second?
I think that's appropriate motion. Okay. All by aye.
Aye.
Aye? Thank you. All right,
Thanks, Jimmy. Yeah, we're on time.
we're on time. So, this time, is there any comments from the public?
Good morning. My name's Evelyn Davis.
Morning, Evelyn.
Good morning. I'm here to address the issue that was just brought up about the clerk's office. I would like better clarification on that because what I read in the paper the last time, it seems that he just wants, well, as the clerk, he wants to be in charge of all things and everything in the county with no accountability to anyone else. Does that mean he wants to be able to say where the voting centers are, how many people work in those voting centers? That just concerns me that he doesn't want anyone else to have any involvement in that.
I can address this, or Leanne, do you have any answers to those questions? Please, yes. Yeah. Leanne Moore, Deputy Clerk. Thanks, Evelyn.
The
Yeah.
clerk's office already decides where the voting centers are going to be throughout a geographical map that we have in our office, and we try to make sure that when we place voting centers, it's within, a fair amount of space so that everyone has the opportunity to vote. The only reason that Mr. Newman, Clerk Newman, is wanting to get voter registration under our umbrella is we have to help place all the poll workers. That is a very, very hard job to do. And when you have more than one office trying to handle that, excuse me, things get complicated and confused. The poll workers, a lot of times will come to training saying they've been notified to be at training, but they don't know where they're going to be working or what job they're going to be doing. Under the clerk's umbrella, everyone knows what they're going to be doing and where they're going to be working when we notify them. There's a time frame where voter registration stops and the clerk's office starts as far as getting poll workers and things like that. And that's where a lot of confusion lies. Mr. Newman is by no means trying to take over everything. He just we need to have the whole process under the clerk's office. And as of last week, St. Joe's County, by the way, and they're a large, large county, they just got voter registration under their umbrella as well. And I've been trying to contact them, but we've been playing phone tag. So, does that help answer your
A
question?
little, because what I read before, it sounded an awful lot like I and me. And I just don't think he's capable of doing all that stuff.
No.
I think that we need to have more input in that, so we don't have all the voting centers in one area
Right,
and other
right.
people disenfranchised because there's no voting center
No,
in their area. And I read that to tell him he wanted to be in control of all of that.
Well, the clerk's office is in control of where the vote centers go. And trying to get the poll workers is a big process. But it never is I, or me. We look for months and months and months in between elections to make sure that we're getting the most places where people can go and vote. It's not just one person doing it, it's a whole staff of people that do that.
It sounded very peaceful, and that's why I wanted, I didn't have a chance to do anything.
Sure.
Ask for public comment.
Doesn't your election board determine the
Yeah, the
polling
election board
sites?
votes on
Your three commissioners on your election board.
Right.
One appointed by the Republican Party chair, one appointed by the Democrat Party chair, and the clerk of any county of the state of Indiana is the third member of that board.
That's
And
correct.
they pick all the, they do their selection. That's one of their duties, the election board.
Right.
Okay. It sounded like he wanted, like I saw, I read was the paper,
Yeah.
and I could barely hear him when he spoke, but it sounded
Understand?
very fishy, and that he wanted to try to, I guess, just gerrymander the voting centers, and that's not what's happening?
No.
Okay, because that's what it sounded like when you read it in the paper, that he wanted all the control.
Voter
back.
registration, which is the issue that we're talking about, does not have anything to do. The election board places the voting centers.
Okay, that's what I was concerned about,
Mhm.
because I know they've closed several before, and I know that,
Absolutely.
I'd like to see as many people have the opportunity to vote that can.
Mhm. As I think as 92 clerks across the state of Indiana want to. They really do.
All right, thank you. You're welcome.
Thanks, Evelyn. Appreciate it. Yes.
On that demolition, was the lowest bid 40,000?
80.
80.
Oh, the lowest bid was 80. And then as far as the election and everything, I think just to be fair, we do need a Democrat and a Republican. I guess the Republican seat's been empty for a while.
And a libertarian?
So, and a libertarian, yes, don't discriminate against any parties. Anyways, you know why I'm here, of course. Just like the mill dam, commissioners want to consider removing it before somebody gets hurt. I'm just still worried about, the wind program, recovery. somebody doesn't receive the necessary health care, recovery, it helps to keep them alive and productive in society. Now, my understanding is commissioners, they empower policies, adopt laws, implement them, and expect for the responsibility of other elected officials to carry out the day-to-day operations. Is that correct? I just want to make sure, there's so many committees, I just wanted to make sure. Anyways, so to save time, to make it short, I would request that maybe 100,000, 250,000 be placed in a fund to cover spay and neuter. I know that you are expanding the Humane Society and I think a back office for police officers to drop off pets or code enforcement. But if there was a separate fund just for spayed and neuter, that we could help control the pet population, that wouldn't go toward expansion or anything, just strictly surgeries. So we used to have the Hope program, we used to have Spot on Wabash. I do the TNRs, I've been doing it for over 15 years, and it really does get expensive, but I'm doing the best I can with what I've got to help take down the pet population. I think Lori Tharp, what used to be code enforcement, she even got grants at one time, and she was trying to assist in that. Second, maybe 250,000, 500,000, if it comes down to 100,000, whatever you could allocate to a methadone treatment program, separate from other types of opioid treatment or other programs assisted with recovery. The money must be spent with a facility that is independent from the existing methadone program, Winnebago, to stop any further monopoly being inflicted upon the Vigo residents. We must stop this pandemic while we have the funding from the government to do so. Look at the big picture. Yes, a display is appealing but unfair to those who overdose and can't enjoy the experience. And yes, the jail needs more guards to watch the prisoners, but those guards wouldn't be needed if crime was reduced through medicated assistant treatment programs like methadone. Out of the 21 million, I'm just asking if the commissioners have any money left, if they could entertain the notions of these two programs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, that is the comments from the public. Elected officials or commissioners' comments?
Negative, I know that's surprising, but nothing today.
Oh, thank you.
Gardner County Assessor, Commissioners. Every year we have to do the Form 11s, and it's a contract that you guys have to sign. I do have that contract in front of me now. I apologize for not getting on the agenda, but I just received it this morning in the email. If you have to wait until next week, that's fine, but I just wanted to give it to you. There has been a slight increase with postage, as everyone knows, postage keeps going up. But with the budget and the money that we've saved by not mailing out the exempt properties, we keep those in-house. I hand deliver some if they wish to have them. If not, they're allowed to come and get them. And then we also group like addresses to decrease the number of parcels actually going out. We can absorb that cost increase without me having to request anything from the council. So I was just going to give this to you guys today, and then you can proceed however you feel best.
Bring it up here, let's take a look, and I don't know why we can't put it on the agenda, get it processed. Thank you.
And you have this money in your budget, Kevin, to cover?
Yes, I already have that in the budget, is a line item. And back when we first went with Midwest Presort, the estimation on the postage was higher than what it ended up coming out being because of the other changes that I told you we made. I've just kept that line item the same, anticipating the increases in postage. So that's the reason I say I can already take care of this without any other requests from the council.
I'll make a motion to approve Midwest Presort Agreement for the Form 11s for the amount of $28,065.58.
Second.
Okay, man. Yo. Okay, all right. Motion's and seconded. All approve of aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Evan. Okay, well, getting the business conducted of the county. All right, anything else on the agenda?
Commissioner Morris, if we could take about a 5-minute recess and we'll move into the area plan meeting.
All right, anybody want to start a pool on the, whether we're gonna have any more snow this year or not? I know I see our county engineer just all excited about moving 8 or 10 inches of snow yet in March. Okay. All right, we will have a 5-minute recess. Thank you.
There won't be any entertaining from this one.
Okay, this is a meeting of the with area planning for commissioner approval of what's been forwarded by the Area Planning Commission, correct?
Correct. Good morning, gentlemen, commissioners. We have one item for your consideration this morning, it's UZO 1 of 2023. It was our docket number 5 of the year. The common address of the property is 6021 East Devenold Avenue. It's located on the east side of Devenold, approximately 315 feet west of the intersection of East Devenold Avenue and North Scott Street. Guidance in this area is estate residential. Surrounding uses are to the north and south agricultural, west and east is residential suburban. The petitioner is requesting a rezoning to allow for a second residence on the property that her mother lives in. At some time in the past, the detached garage was converted to a home. There are no current permits on file for the conversion, and no inspections have been completed. Consequently, it is unknown if the conversion was done in keeping with Indiana Residential Building Code requirements or how the sanitary systems are configured. The assessor's office has no record of the conversion, and the health department has no septic permits on file. The comprehensive plan describes this area as estate residential. Identified is the recommendation of residential land uses of approximately 1 home every 2 acres, and the expectation that over time densities should be encouraged to increase into moderate densities as public utilities become available. Argument could be made that R2 is a medium density use. The property exceeds the minimum lot size requirement for R2 two-family residential. The closest R2 zoning is 2.1 miles to the west-southwest. Consequently, this could be viewed as spot zoning. However, in Indiana, spot zoning is not illegal per se if the zoning action bears a rational relation to the public health, safety, morals, convenience, or general welfare. Further, staff is of the opinion that this petition would not alter the general characteristics of the neighborhood. Public water is believed to be available and must be utilized. We offered a favorable recommendation on the R2 two-family residential rezoning so long as the following conditions could be met. A converted garage must be inspected and found to be habitable. A habitable structure being constructed in keeping with Indiana Residential Building Code. Building permits issued for the converted livable building, and health department approval of the semi-public septic utility design and location. The Area Plan Commission forwarded a favorable recommendation. The day of the meeting, there were remonstrators present. We have since that meeting received an additional email, which I've handed it out to you this morning. Was from Hair Hacker at Rocket Vale, Brian and Steffi Fink. The letter of remonstrance stating that they have 0 objections to the property rezoning to accommodate additional living space.
Okay, Mr. Clinkenbeard, you were there, and I think the property owners all go with this?
Well, no, I believe there are 2 here that did speak against it. Now, I don't know what the procedure is, whether you let them speak again or not.
Okay. Okay. All right, Mr. Shine, you are here to represent the people.
Can I start over? No, okay. If you change your mind, let me know. What Donna is going through is what I think is becoming a common occurrence in not just our community, but everywhere, and that is kids taking care of their parents. About 3.5, 4 years ago, Donna's mother needed a residence, and Donna needed to take care of her mother. As a result, they tried living together. That was a little too close. They have a large than normal garage on the property. About 3.5 years ago, they were to convert it into part living, part garage. And at that time, Donna's mother moved into that garage, and then Donna's mother pulled the ultimate and switched with her daughter. So now her daughter, Donna, is in the garage. So, and this is, as you heard from Jared, this was heard at Area Plan this month. The staff report gave it favorable, the staff gave it favorable, the commissioners met, even with people here at that meeting, raising some issues, was approved to you and brought to you with a favorable recommendation. Donna is well aware of has been made well aware of the requirements by the area plan office, and is in the process of getting the inspections and with both the house and the septic, and has agreed to and will agree to make any necessary modifications that are brought out by those inspections. This is just a simple situation where we're on 1.5 acres of land. We're using the existing garage. We're not asking to build another garage. And as I said, this has been going on for 3.5 years. This was a complaint-driven rezoning, and that's why we're here today. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
I have none.
Yeah, we gave a favorable recommendation as a area planning board, so I have no other questions.
So you say there's someone that would like to speak on it?
There.
There's 2 ladies here.
Would you like to speak on this issue? Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name
Morning.
is Stephanie Branson, and I live right next door at 6055. And we're not against the rezoning. We don't have a problem with that. We just want the property to be safe. Currently in the said garage, Donna also resides with her adult daughter and her boyfriend. So there's 3 actually residing in that residence, as well as her mother up front. Initially, when they started residing in the garage, Donna would actually also rent that out as an Airbnb, and then would kind of go up to the main house whenever there were renters. She's also rented a teepee as well as tents as Airbnbs in the back, and people have used a deer blind and a bucket for using the restroom, so I'm not sure where that public waste has gone. And so as long as it's sanitary and up to code and safe and doesn't affect our property, then we're okay with that. When the Airbnb was in operation, we had many people coming through our yard at all hours of the night, and have definitely had increased safety issues because of that. So as long as the property is safe and done correctly, we don't have a problem with that. We do have well water, so I'm not aware of public water being available, quite honestly. So, thank you. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Is there public water available, city water available, or will this have to be a well or hooked to the other well?
Guidance says that if it is available, they have to utilize it for any new development. So if the existing setup is wells, then a semi-public utility system has to be approved by DNR.
I'll be here next month in front of you for nearly identical rezoning. And we're also, because of the proximity to water and sewer, there's going to be we're also going through the variance process. To address Stephanie's issue she brought up, there was a time period where Donna was Airbnb in a teepee. That kind of started during COVID when people it was a crazy time. The rental portion has ended, and also her children are no longer living at the residence. So it's just her mother in the main house and her in the new residence.
So Jared, what do we do with TPs?
Yeah, it's,
Jeez.
I believe that they have ceased that,
Yeah, that's
that
correct.
use, because that would be considered a campground.
I was going to say, if you put one up for your family, that's one.
Yeah.
Jeez.
COVID was a crazy time.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Oh, my.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.